Hey there, art lovers and Heaven's Equal fans, it's Tycho, and today we're diving deep into the making of a book cover. And not just any cover, the first volume of Heaven's Equal. If you don't know and you're new here, welcome. I created a webcomic called Heaven's Equal that is a modern-day adaptation of the classic Chinese tale Journey to the West. If you love the Monkey King, you're in the right place. My adaptation takes place in modern-day Los Angeles, and instead of being trapped under a mountain by the Buddha, Shawn and Wukong is instead forced to go and work fast food because I can't think of any worse torture for the Monkey King than that. In the first 5 chapters of my webcomic, our main character, Shawn, who takes place at the Tripitaka in this particular retelling, is introduced to Shawn and Wukong after she gets a job at the Tripitaka. Y'all see what I did there with the Tripitaka? You see what I did there? Shawn just wants to be able to save up money to go to college because she knows that her dad, who predominantly works as a religious volunteer and doesn't really make any money, cannot help her pay the expenses. This obviously does not go as planned when she walks in the second day and finds that her coworker is, as far as she can tell, a demon. Demons in Heaven's Equal aren't like traditional Christian demons and are instead people who have been corrupted by their own evil deeds and toxic traits. Shawn and Wukong denies from here to Sunday that he is a demon, but Shawn has never seen anything else like him anywhere. The city of Los Angeles is slowly being overtaken by this demon epidemic, and most people just tend to keep their heads down and not get involved. Shawn used to be one of those people, but now she has to work directly with someone who most likely has done something horrible in order for them to have become a demon in the first place. The first 5 chapters of the book set up Shawn and Wukong as our main characters and really establishes the dynamic that they have with each other. Wukong is super entitled, doesn't listen to what anybody else has to say, and likes to be in charge. Shawn is easily frustrated and doesn't like being bossed around. This combination results in a lot of arguing and is definitely not a good foundation for them to build their relationship on. When working on the cover for this volume, I really wanted to capture that tension, and it's not super antagonistic between the two of them. It is a little bit playful, and I think Shawn just recognizes that because Wukong is so entitled that she just has to let him do the stupid stuff that he's gonna do, and eventually he'll just get himself into enough trouble that she can just leave him alone. So they really go at each other like siblings, and I hope that came across. It's really Shawn sticking her tongue out that just does it for me in this whole image. These two really do have power-packed personalities, and the dynamic between the two of them is the heart and soul of the story. I know that the traditional piece, Wu Chang'an's Journey to the West, is more about episodically kind of what happens to the group and the Buddhist lessons that can be learned from what happens to them, but I wanted my adaptation of this particular story to be more character-driven, and so I'm focusing a lot on the interactions between the characters as they happen and how that shapes them, their personalities, and what they learn from it. I also had to challenge myself and draw a lot of perspective in this particular piece. I love drawing the inside of the Tripitaka, don't get me wrong, and if you're locking up a god, obviously you have to put him in a place with Chinese fast food. This place is a Chinese-Mexican fusion restaurant, and if you want to learn more about what kind of food they serve, you can check out the first chapter of Heaven's Equal. It'll tell you all about it and show some great dishes there. Customer service is always absolutely terrible, and when you're running a restaurant that's kind of on the cheaper side, I can only imagine that people treat you worse. I've only worked one fast food job in my life, and it was at kind of a mid-priced fast casual place. People were weird there, so I can only imagine that if you're serving really cheap food, they're just gonna get weird. And Guanyin, obviously, in their infinite compassion, looked at Wukong and said, "Yeah, that's something that you deserve. Have fun with the Karens." I did have a lot of fun drawing the food, though. I've never drawn wonton soup, and I've never drawn lo mein, so together it was a challenge all around. Shawn and Wukong predominantly wear their Tripitaka uniforms in the beginning of this comic, and I actually have a Tripitaka t-shirt. It's my pride and joy, and I'm so glad that I bought one. The uniforms are not very attractive, although I guess they're better than most uniforms I've ever seen, but I can't imagine really wanting to wear that to work over like a t-shirt. Of course, the cover isn't complete without the right typography and design elements. As a chapter header, I always include the golden cicada that I have drawn behind the title text there, and one of the Tripitaka's names in the original Chinese tale is the golden cicada. Cicadas are important as a symbol in Buddhism because they represent rebirth. It takes a lot of time for these cicadas to bury themselves underground and endure the hardship of being in the cold and the dark and the earth, and then when they emerge, it's kind of it's a rebirth situation, and the Tripitaka and Buddhism as a whole definitely represent that idea. So Shawn, as a character, also has to embody the cicada. She has to be resilient enough to be born again and to help others reclaim their own humanity and undergo the same journey. I studied a lot of references to make sure that my typography looked right, and in particular the Harley Quinn New 52 graphic novels were a huge help in figuring out where to put my text. I was really surprised at how complex this illustration was and how long it took me, truly, and I didn't even in this session get to finish rendering any of the characters. I'll be back again with another video in the future, but in the meantime, if you want to read Heaven's Equal completely for free, you can do so on both Tapas and Webtoon. I'll include the links to those websites in the description below. I'm currently trying to get to 100 subs on Tapas in order to monetize my comics, so if you want to help an indie comic creator out, I would greatly appreciate it, and subscribing is completely free. So get on over there. I hope you enjoy my work. While we're in the Tripitaka, what is your favorite Chinese fast food? Mine is definitely honey walnut shrimp, hands down, super delicious, but I definitely can't be stopped when it comes to orange chicken as well. Wukong absolutely hates American Chinese food, doesn't like it at all, so working at the Tripitaka definitely makes him sad because all anybody wants is orange chicken. Designing this cover has been a blast and was a journey of its own. To all Heaven's Equal fans and budding artists out there, I hope that this gives you a little peek into the love and labor that goes into creating a comic. Thanks for joining me on this artistic deep dive. If you enjoy my art, don't forget to give a thumbs up, share your own thoughts below, and as always, hit that subscribe button for more behind the scenes fun. Stay inspired, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next video.